Hello, everyone. Welcome to another horrific review. Okay, tonight I am discussing Wolfman, directed by Leigh Whannell. A family at a remote farmhouse is attacked by an unseen animal, but as the night stretches on, the father begins to transform into something unrecognizable. All right. I wasn't too sure whether to do this one or not. I heard some bad things, but I thought, well, it's out. May as well give it a go. God, right. This is an example of Blumhouse generic blandness. This is their straight out of their rule book, playbook, whatever you want to call it, of how to make something safe, boring, bland, and just a tad annoying at the same time. Like, this is not a good movie. Oh, hey, Leigh, how are you, man? Good to have you on. Chat's been picking up lately. A lot of folks on. It's really great to see. It adds, it's all right sitting waffling away, staring in the ether, but it's great having folks to chat to and interact with. But yeah, right, let's get on this. Generic scene 101. We'll start off with a nature, a clip from a nature video. You've got a hornet getting eaten, busy attacking an ant colony and the ants attacking the hornet. And the sound effects are shocking. They're squeaking and grunting and roaring and doing all sorts of weird shit that these insects do not make. Quite simply. But horror movie must have roar, squeak, 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 and all that shit. And you're like, what are you doing? Doing grand. Been working all week, so I haven't had much time to be getting stuck into things. So I made a point to we'll have to reschedule tonight's what we do in the shadows stream. So I took the opportunity, thought may as well get this looked at and done and off the list. Never to be watched again because this is one of them movies that's just forgettable. Like, once you've watched it, you're just going to be like, meh. It'll leave no impact on you whatsoever. Oh, or Megalon as well. Greetings. Yeah, I'm not thinking very highly of it. It's beige. This is a classic example of a beige movie. Like, honestly, there's more exciting paint out there drying than this. But we'll start off. We've got who are the main character? We've got Blake, Cage. So Blake's a young lad. Is it Cage or Blade or something? It's one of them dopey. Grady, sorry, yeah, that was close. That was my next guess. There's a Cage in there somewhere, but Grady's a father. Blake's the wee boy, and they basically live in the sticks. They're out in the wilderness farmhouse, and that's it. We start off. Father gets him up. It's like, right, let's go. Wee boy gets up, makes his bed, and I think you're meant to have a tense sense of, oh, this wee boy's being abused because he's makes his own bed in the morning. Like, what the fuck? Honestly, I am sick of this whiny culture, especially the people that make these movies that having a bit of discipline in the house, right? We're up in the morning, right? Especially if you're friggin' hell, if you're middle of nowhere and yeah, you get up and you work. You're in a working farm. I know loads of farmers and their kids, and they all helped out, and it wasn't like great burden. It was just part of life. And guess what? The kids get to go off the university and get to do what they need to do, and they don't have to necessarily follow a career in farming with the rest of them. They can do their own thing, or they can go back to the farm. You know what I mean? It's utter stupid, but this is what it's trying to do, and it kind of makes sense later on. Because anyway, we got this whole thing getting up, they're going out hunting, and because of the dialogue and they're doing it at full blast, it's like they're screaming and shouting through the woods, talking full volume when they're supposed to be stalking deer. And I'm surprised there's a bloody deer about the place because these two are like, "Nyeh, nyeh, nyeh, nyeh," talking to each other. And there's this whole scene where, um, as they're walking about, he's like, "Oh, these are death cap mushrooms. You don't eat those. They'll put you in the ground," sort of thing, right? And Blake's daydreaming, so he's like, "Right, what did I just say to you?" But like kids, do that are off wandering, but he's not like beating them or anything. He just, stern, gruff. But at the same time, they stop, they take a look over the horizon, they spend a moment together and goes, "This will never get old." And the wee kid's smiling. So they're contradicting their own narrative that they're trying to put forward of um God, I keep forgetting his name because he's only a bit character. Grady, yeah, flip's it. Grady as as if he's some sort of horrible person. He's just raising his kid. No mother about, so I don't know what's happened there. But the wee kid's out with a rifle. They spotted the deer, which I'm surprised because they're hollering and yapping the whole time. Uh, Father lines up for a shot, but the deer disappears. The wee lad runs off, and once again, the father's up to him and goes, "What are you doing? What have I told you about running off on your own? This is how you end up dead," which is true. They're in the wilderness, Not just that, if a wee kid comes up against something like a stag, he's going to get gored. Never mind grizzly bears or blackbirds, whatever's in that region. I think this is set in Oregon, so if you know that area, what's more prevalent, are the black bears or brown bears? I'm pretty sure there's um bobcats and stuff, but you know what I mean. There's stuff with claws and teeth that'll happily and antlers that'll happily rip you to bits if you stray off, especially if you're the child. Do you know what I mean? So the father's just trying to keep, is trying to teach the wee lad, and the wee lad can handle a rifle and stuff. So he's got his own rifle, he's handling it. So, uh, the reason I'm spending so much time in this book because this is a whole preface to the rest of the movie. The they hear some sort of growl or roar. I mean, talk about the most generic monster roar ever. The that type of one. They play that. So now they're like, "Whoa, right, get into the deer hut." The looks like a guard tower, but it's busy for getting elevated. So because you hear, so when that there's some sort of scene with see breath and thing coming up against them, and then that's the whole thing. Basically, them encountering the beast, whatever it is. We see uh Blake, he's doing this, so that's the movie poster at the time, and yeah, that's that. We then jump forward 30 years because yeah, Blake is now a complete simpering idiot. He is a cuck. Like he is a beta. That's the only way to describe him. He is just a little manlet. He's out with his daughter Ginger in the streets, and they're talking to that. And they're supposed to have this great bond, but yet she jumps up on a what do you call it, Empire things, and he tells her no. She turns on the waterworks, and he instantly goes into simp mode. And yeah, the he's supposed to be the one she's bonded to, but yet she completely disregards him and uses the waterworks, and then he instantly crumbles and stuff, and just they're making him a non-likable character, and I think they're doing it deliberately because the way this movie's going to go, like this is right. You can't like any character because there's danger involved, so therefore, let's not build a sympathetic character so you don't get the horror of what happens later, which is spelled out in the. I think you can guess what's going to happen. It's all spelled out. There's nothing shocking here. There's no twist to the story. It's paint by numbers, typical Bloomhouse fare. This is what they do. Which, as much as I don't like it, I get what it does. It's to introduce normies to the horror genre. They want as many bums and seats as possible, and they do these low budget, in this case, low effort movie to get as many normies on board as possible. That's their target audience. It's not really horror fans, if that makes sense. So you can see it with the Conjuring series. You can see it with everything else. That's what they do. So they're staying true to form. Um, he tells her off, like just tell her off. Then he starts apologizing straight away. I was like, for fuck's sake. I would understand if he was dancing on her head and beating her about and stuff. I would get it, but he's not, and she's doing something really stupid, like climbing on a barrier on the side of a busy road. You know, gets wiped out. Like his father said to him about the mushrooms. You know, these are dangerous. Don't eat them. What did I just? You know, and he's spacing it. It's I don't know, man. This generation or whatever the hell they're doing has my head away because you see the little brats is produced and they're in their 20s and 30s now and they're adult babies and it's because of this. It's uh it's shit. But anyway, we'll see that we'll have the whole thing that we get a flashback and Grady's on a CB radio talking to one of his friends, you know, in the area that this thing's come back after the incident. So he, you know, he goes off to hunt it, and something obviously happens. I don't know because we have nothing to reference here. We don't know the time scale. We know that Blake left home and moved to the city, so we'll get that thing. We meet Charlotte, his wife, and she's a cunt. She is one horrible, horrible character. So it turns out he's a writer now. He's in between jobs, so while he's doing that, he's the stay-at-home parent, which you would think would be applauded in, you know, the Hollywood movie making lovey-dovey culture. That would be the thing to celebrate, but they make him out to be lesser, and she doesn't respect him. She looks at him as if he's a piece of shit and treats him like he's a piece of shit. And honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if she was getting rinsed by the entire. She's a journalist, so it wouldn't surprise me if she's getting rinsed by the entire newsroom department. She just seems that sort of horrible bitch, and there's no polite way to put it. He asks her, there's a scene he asks her, she's taking a call, blah, 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 full volume, you know, arguing. And he just went, can you take it in another room, please? No, as in, let's have a separation. And I'm pretty sure if he did the same thing, she would expect it. You know, it's, I understand you're home working from home and stuff, but you have it like a separate room and you don't bring it all over the house so everyone has to like tiptoe around you. You know, that wasn't much, but she's like, don't you dare disrespect me again, blah, blah, and all this shit. And you're like, what the hell is this? How are you meant to like these characters? So Ginger's all right. She's not horrendous because at the end of the day, apart from that one scene, she's actually the most level-headed character. Blake is a complete simp. Charlotte is a complete bitch. Um, Grady, they tried to make him out to be something, but really he wasn't. You know, they play the music and all, and you're just looking, going, well, what's he doing? What's he doing so terrible? You know, piss off. But needless to say, it turns out he's went missing at some point. Now I'm guessing this is after Blake left home and he went missing because he gets this letter, and this is the whole point of the story. You know, his father's finally been declared dead because he's been missing for so long. So probate, blah blah blah. He's got the farmhouse, so he's going to go up there and clear it out, and all that kind of stuff. Fair enough, but I suppose they have to get to the cabin in the woods. You know, the plot needs to happen. Like I said, this is so paint by numbers. Anyway, blah 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 blah. He turns up at Charlotte's work for lunchtime and he's like, we're not doing too well. We need to reconnect. Come up with me. Take some time off. You can work from home. Blah blah blah. You know, all this kind of stuff. But you know what's going to happen. You know they're going to agree to do it, and that's it. You know they're going to go right from this point onwards. I'm going to go into spoiler territory for those that might want to watch this movie because I really don't recommend you waste your time with it. But if you do, you've been warned. They get the moving truck. They're heading there. He turns up the wrong house, and this is where we meet Derek. And it turns out Derek is one of his childhood friends, and it would make sense, even though they live in isolated farmhouses, that there's more community. I think this is what they don't understand, city people and like the people that make these sort of movies in their lovey-dovey space, that farming communities are actually quite tight and they all know each other and they all have a method of community because they need to. You get cabin fever if you're just on your own, go well, but also if you're a farmer, you need to trade. What's the point in farming? I think they have it in their head that they just farm for the sake of it, if that makes sense. Somebody might have land, for example, that grows one type of crop. Somebody might be growing another because it's not efficient to be doing little patches. I think folks that live in an urban environment think that you have this little patchwork, like a garden. A hobbyist would grow vegetables, a little patch of carrots, a little patch of cabbage. Well, that doesn't work if you're farming. You need to concentrate on one crop, dedicate a field to it, have rotation, and it needs to be in yields enough to make profit. So you'd have a farmer doing this, another farmer doing that. They have to support each other and work together. And maybe as a collective to a supplier. So say they supply to supermarket, they would all have to work together because that's why they get decent prices. You know, it's stupid. The attitude. Where was it going with this? Yeah, because he meets Derek. Derek is every redneck stereotype, and Charlotte and not so much Ginger. Ginger's kind of like I said, she's the level-headed one, but Charlotte's like, it's a man with a gun. He's in the woods. I'm scared. That shit, and you're like, fuck off. Seriously, you silly bent. You're probably more dangerous than he is. Fucking from STDs nor anything else. I don't like her character at all. Now that I think about it, I started off. I put in notes. I'm not too fussed on her character. Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't like her character whatsoever. She's not a good person. But yeah, Derek gets in the van off the tottle. This is about 35 minutes, 40 minutes into the movie. So nothing's actually happened. This thing is nearly 2 hours long, by the way. This is another one Leigh's director doesn't know. They don't know how to edit. This thing is absolutely, um, yeah, just overblown. It's it's an indulgence. Hang on, let's see. Chat here for a little. Sorry, seeing the chats jumping up. Yeah, watch it on. Move on. I'm already forgetting. My brain's already erasing it from my memory. Nothing apart from being bit. Passing it on. But if you think about the whole point of the wolf man, because the first attack happens during the day, so it's not even the full moon. And secondly, true love is meant to be the antidote in a sense. And it's yeah, there's no love in this family. Uh Maybe between Ginger and Blake, father and daughter, which Charlotte is jealous of because she's working woman and you've got such a better bond. So here we go. She gets to be the breadwinner. She's out there doing her thing in her professional capacity, and she's still fucking jealous because Blake is keeping the house and he has a chance to bond with her daughter and has a rapport with her because he deals with her every day. And that is wrong again. Fucking make your mind up, movie people. Because obviously it's not, I mean, somebody's written this. This is somebody's written the frigging script. This is what's in their head of how these things go. And it's just pure neuroticism. It's shit. It's fucking nobody's ever happy. And once again, how are you meant to, if this is the way they've painted them, how are you meant to give a shit? So we get the generic, is that in the trailer? It is in the trailer. The car crash scene is in the trailer because they see something on the road to swerve off. Yeah, it's in the trailer. So yeah, we see that. And that's just to happen for the sake of happening. Have this weird scene with the trucks in a tree sideways. Um, Derek falls out, so he jumps in the front to give him give him directions to his own house. And yeah, this crash scene happens. He falls out and gets dragged off, so he He was a bit character, absolutely no point to him whatsoever. There's this weird thing where he's supposed to be strapped in by the seatbelt, but the thing's sideways, and he's strapped up as if he's wearing a harness and not a seat. Because if he's wearing a seatbelt, he'd be hanging over the side. It's stupid. He gets the thing hits the window, smashes it. He gets scratched. Derek dragged away, and then everybody gets out, goes to the farmhouse, and then the rest of the movie is an absolute snore fest. I mean, if you think it's taken a long time to build up, I've never known a movie to get slower towards the third act. Like normally you get, and even with Blumhouse stuff, you notice it's snore, 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 15 minutes of action. How the hell did this movie manage to actually get slower halfway through? And it's all him transforming into the beast, because he got scratched. That's it. And uh yeah, and it turns out Grady's went off and he's making jerky. And what are they doing? They're doing this weird shit where his senses start to pick up. So they do this weird luminescent and the stuff. Stupid. Think of like a Superman movies when he gets overwhelmed by everything, but he hears one thing and it's a spider as if it's going right. If his senses were that attuned, he'd be deaf, especially nighttime in the woods. If you've ever been there, yeah. Basically, what it is, his father Grady goes missing, gets declared dead, so everything gets left to him. So the they're falling apart. Charlotte's a complete bitch, like I said, and they're going to clear out the cabin, and they're using it as an excuse, basically, to try and save their marriage. That's it. Um, yeah, and then obviously that car crash happened. It was so contrived, and it was just inserted in. You really do feel as if, right, store, 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 quick action scene, let the rest of the thing happen. It was so ham-fisted and shoehorned in. It just felt annoying. Like, once again, that's why I say Bloomhouse is for normies, because maybe a normie has never seen a horror movie before would jump at that. But Jesus Christ, I'm sitting going, here we go again. Crash, crash. I'm not even flinched because it was so telegraphed that something like that was going to happen. And yeah, I'm then when it does, you're like, yeah, okay, this is how it's. You're not, you're not one bit invested, and you're not invested in the characters. So if you're not invested in the character, you don't give a shit what happens to them. And I have said that ad nauseum. Hey, if you're building your world, it's a world building thing. Build your world that it's interesting, that it can happen, that you feel like the world goes on, and this is just an event in the world. But build your characters. You have to have sympathetic characters. You need to be able to resonate with characters on the screen, and especially with horror. It's You need the likable characters because you need to root for them. And they've even got that lazy lately that even the final girl trope, like you don't even root for the final girl in a lot of horror movies lately because they're just so bland. It's expected. And that's what annoys me. It's a laziness that is just expected. Oh, here is character A. They're going to do this. You must go through the motions and not be invested. And it's bullshit because it's the characters are everything. In any story, the characters, there's ones you like, there's ones you don't like. That's all part of the emotional ride that you go on watching a movie or reading a book or any sort of piece of art. You need that connection. And they have made them the only one's a wee girl they've made a bit of an effort with. But even then, she doesn't really serve a purpose. She's more of a plot device in this than anything else. She's not really ever in any danger. She's doesn't do anything heroic. She says a few lines here and there, but that's it. Um They start boarding up because the thing's chasing them. They start boarding up the house. And of course, they leave the dog flap open, fucking contrived number plot 6. So when the hand comes through the dog flap, oh, there's a shock. He's doing this thing where he's hammering in nails and he hits his thumb with a hammer because you want to see the nail coming off. And you're just waiting for it. It's like, right, he's going to hit his thumb. There's nothing in this movie. There is nothing in this movie that actually get you vested. Are you sick, Dada? This stupid baby language that's being enforced in us all. Baba goo goo gaga fucking language from grown. Like, she's not a toddler. She's at least late primary school age, going into secondary school. She's not a friggin' 3-year-old. So Dada doo doo goo goo fucking gee shit. Piss off. And he talks to it the same way, so he's busy as simpleton, I'm sick of this crap. Really am. And then, of course, Charlotte turns into girl boss mode because now Blake, even though Blake's the one that was brought up in the fucking woods and knows the area, and he obviously left when he was old enough to leave, so he's lived there into adulthood because we know that this is a recent thing with Grady going missing and being declared dead. But yeah, he's taken out of the picture now because he's transforming. He becomes, and now Charlotte, who is a city girl, never been there, has never had a day of hardship in her life. You can just tell the entitled dialogue from her that she's a brat, never been told no in her life sort of person. Now she's picking up knives and becoming fucking hung Hua, fighting werewolves and stuff. All that kind of crap, and you're like, what are you playing at? Now she can go and find the rifle and load the weapon because now she's an expert and she's got over her fear of guns, which she was freaking out when Derek had one over his shoulder. Absolutely not even remotely threatening in any shape or form. Now she's all fucking cutscene. What do you call her? Alice out of Nightmare on Elm Street 4. That sort of transformation, but just not as good. And it's in a half a second. So, need to say, we have this other creature thing, wolf creature, appear, tries to attack them and stuff, and then Grady starts to fight, or not Grady, Derek starts to fight back. And then we have this. The wolf fight scenes were good. I'll give it that. They were only brief, but the actual two wolves fighting, because obviously Derek's transformed into a wolf. The wolf creature in the woods is coming after them, and then they tussle and stuff. Those scenes were good. And guess what? Surprise, surprise. Grady's the other wolf. Because Grady went out hunting the wolf and he went missing, so he's the wolf now. Not even. We'll get that. Not even silver bullets. They didn't even bother with that. Kitchen knives and normal rifle slugs does the job, apparently. He's now Derek's now transforming, blah blah blah. They have the fight scene, they take care of Grady Wolf. They have a stupid scene where there's basically like a outside the house, there's a growing, what do you call them things? Like a greenhouse, but it's made of tarp, clear tarp. Right? So they climb on top of it. And of course we get the ping 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 starting to fall apart, him jumping up, slicing. Fuck me. Talk about students would do a better job. This is so contrived. You just know every fucking beat of drama and suspense and terror. You can basically, yep, we're doing this, tick, and we're doing this, tick, and we're doing this, tick. Oh, we're making horror movie, tick. Fucking see everything that's happening in front of you. And I think that's the worst thing about this movie is there's nothing even remotely to give it a bit of flavour. Yes, werewolf movies have been done loads and loads of times. There's great ones, there's terrible ones, there's ones in between. But at least they try to give it a bit of spice. It's like having the same ingredients, but doing your little thing, putting on the pot a bit longer, doing something, making a stew, doing something different with the potatoes, blah, blah, blah. You can do something that makes it yours. This didn't bother. This is a made by committee checkbox exercise of a movie. Of this be horror movie, we must have these things in it. This is werewolf movie, we must do these things, but not too much in case the audience actually gets some sort of emotional involvement with the screen. Um, so now Derek, and of course he couldn't do it without Charlotte's help, stabbing Grady of his own, but they take care of him. And surprise, surprise, now Derek fully turns and starts chasing them. And they run, he chases them, and of course they end up back in the deer hut, which was telegraphed at the start of the movie. And this is the worst scene. The ending scene's the worst scene. He climbs up, and here's the thing: Derek could have caught these and ripped them apart 100 times. And I think they're trying to tell you that he's fighting against himself, but you can see none of that struggle. Derek becomes a non-character halfway through this movie once he gets scratched. Like about once he starts transforming a bit, he just turns into a non-character and Charlotte takes over. And the only one trying to keep any sort of plot and dialogue is the wee girl Ginger. I think that's a bit unfair. Having a child actors carry an entire movie because all the adult actors have got shit dialogue. I don't even know if they're good actors or not. They're just that I'll forget about them. Um, the one playing Charlotte, she could change her hair and I'll not even recognize her in another movie because I've forgotten her already. But they have this weird scene. He climbs up and he's trying to like not kill them, and yeah, he's like, and Ginger's like, he wants it to be over. Like the only adult sort of dialogue. Like you think he would have said kill me or something, but no, can't have the man be, you know, have the last word or anything. So it has to be the little girl, coming off with the most adult dialogue in the whole movie. And then Charlotte shoots him. Never handled a rifle before in her life. Scared shitless of a random bloke, but now she's girl boss and she takes him out. The end. Cut the credits. And here's I was waiting for an after credit scene. I actually went through the credits waiting. And God, could they pick the shitter bunch of music as well for the end credits? Weird pop rock stuff in between the normal uh generic movie music, that you never listen to really. This was thrown together. This was stuck together with gaffer tape and fucking Pritt stick and super glue. Not even super glue. This doesn't even we didn't even spend the money on super glue for this. I wouldn't like to think what budget this movie was because fuck, let's look it up actually. If this was a budget of more than 10 million, then this has been a money laundering exercise. Honestly. If you notice with IMDb, they won't give you any other information apart from unless you sign up for their shite. I wonder if Wikipedia's done it. This thing cost 25 million to make. Piss off. It brought in 32.8 million at the box office. That didn't even break even because you need to make 3 times the amount of the budget. And it's probably more than 25 million if because I don't know if they include the marketing costs in the 25 million. So add another 5 million or something on that. GG proportional. Yeah, this movie didn't make it. 25 million. This was a money laundering exercise. This was just a tax write-off. This was shit. There's no way they spent that amount of money. How could you spend that amount of money when there's like 5 characters at most? There's only 3 main characters in this. Brady, who's a bit character, Derek, who's in this for 5 minutes, and then you got random extras for the rest. They use the outdoors, so there's no like set building or anything, apart from maybe the house. And the special effects in this are not good. Where did they spend the money? And these are not A-listers playing this. Was Leigh involved? Frick, I'll bring this up again. I don't know. He played a part. He did a voice or something. He played the voice on the other end of the radio as well. So he actually had a bit part. Played Dan, the guy on the other end of the TV. He wrote it with Corbett Tuck. Right, who is this Leigh Whannell character? What's he done? Oh, he did that one with. Where's his filmography? Known for. Oh, Saw, right. Cooties. The Invisible Man? Fuck. Oh, God, I'm still. What? That's that one with Insidious. I didn't mind. I liked Insidious. I liked the second Insidious. The first one was all right. God, if you see my review of Insidious, The Red Door, like that was a snore fest. Aquaman, wouldn't watch that shit. Insidious The Last Key. Have I seen? I think I've missed one of the Insidious ones out. I think it might be The Last Key I've left out, but honestly, you don't need to watch it to get that. That was what else have we done? What else? He's done a lot from Bloomhouse, it seems. Angel Guardians. Anything else I've seen? Saw 1 to 3, which was meh. I'm not a fan of the Saw franchise. Also, they told the story, the complete story in the 3 movies. I could have forgiven that, but how many Saws are we on now? Saw fucking 29 or something. You know what I mean? It just got stupid. I think they're doing another one, aren't they? One came out last year, and I've no interest in them. Like, did I even try to watch the fourth one? I don't think it did, because as far as I was concerned, the story was complete, done. And then I heard they were making a fourth one, and I just switched off. God, Enter the Matrix. Wasn't the God, I played that in the GameCube. Wasn't that the GameCube? Just before it runs parallel. Yeah, he played it. Oh, he didn't write it, he just played a character. God, there's a thing. That was alright. That wee game was alright. And that's really, yeah, that's all. So, Insidious series. Yeah, okay. Um, he is he's generic Hollywood. Um, like I said, the Insidious series is alright. The first 2 were alright. I like the second one more. It had a more gripping story. 3 and 4 are forgettable. But I don't know how much of that is him or how much of it is Blumhouse. So there's 10 Saw movies. You know, that's 7 too many. That was a decent enough trilogy. They managed to tell a story arc. They should have just closed it off and left it and come up with something else. Saw like, but didn't have to be Jigsaw. But the friggin' they wrote themselves in the corner. They did the cash grab thing, and yeah, that sort of nonsense I can't be arsed with. Yeah, but there you go. There's that. Was not. It's just annoying at this point. Like if this was 5 years ago, 6 years ago, I would have got angry at this film. But now it is just so bland, repetitive. It's just, yeah, I feel nothing. I don't I don't see Bloomhouse as a quality brand name. If I see Bloomhouse appearing on a horror movie, I know it's going to be safe by the numbers, just shite. I tried that. I was interested to see what Bloomhouse Games was going to do. Their new venture, and sure I played that one for the Spotlight or something, and it was shit. Like, imagine that being your flagship game to start a new venture, and that's what they put out. Yeah, I don't know. How does this company keep going? Because there's the budget of that is ridiculous. There's no way that should have been 25 million. No way. There's better low budget stuff out there. People with a camcorder in the woods. The only thing I didn't do was start off with a drone shot. So it didn't even give you the warning. If my theory is basically if a movie starts off with a drone shot, you're going to get a shit movie. It didn't even have the decency to do that. It did that weird thing with the ants and the hornet squeaking and squealing at each other because yeah. Anyway, there you go. There's that. I watched it so you didn't have to. Don't waste your time. Honestly, it's if you want to watch a good movie of the same genre but done so much better, watch Antlers. It's not a wolf, but it's a Wendigo. But oh my god, if you want to see tension, drama, and actually child actors really stepping up above their mark, if that makes sense, and giving performances, check that movie out. That's still one of my favorite movies of the last 10 years, of which I consider recent movies they've come out. It is gripping and it does the transformation thing and the beast and stuff. And you've got the young lad in that trying to still act as if everything's normal in this world while everything's going to rat shit. You know, check that one out. This is just not worth your time. No, and there's loads of just another like small indie budgets like what Josiah saw. Check that one out. Like that movie is uh even though there's a middle bit of it that didn't really fit and it could have been its own movie, it's still good to watch. And that was really kept you guessing up until the end. What else? God, there's loads of check out the channel. I've done how many reviews at this point? I've lost count. um yeah, I'll have to do like a Colin recommends list and the movies like little gems that I've found over the time that I really like. Yeah, but this wouldn't be it. Anyway, there you go. Waffled enough. Hope you enjoyed the review of anything else. Yeah, this movie is just yeah, it's not even worth calling bad. There's not even enough effort in it to be bad. Like there's no risks taken whatsoever. This is your fast food joint meal, burger, fries, drink, different painted box. It's exactly the same. There's nothing there. You're not going to be surprised by it. You're seated for a minute and you feel nothing. Yeah, there's not much coming out in TV at the moment. I'm going to look back at some old ones and try and get either Chris or Dale to go through some of them with me. That a lot of people don't know about. So I'm going to try and hook them out and go back with those. I'm not a big TV person, but there's nothing I'm not even excited about. They're talking about Alien Earth. I'm not even excited for that. I just know where it's going. It's another silly prequel and going nowhere. But anyway, there you go. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Thanks for taking part in the chat and all that good stuff. Really appreciate you. I just even say until next time, keep updated with the channel, do the types of things, and remember to keep it creepy, keep it horrific.